A House Civis broadcasting.
Happy far, everybody, and boy, what a far it is. For those of you who have been keeping up with us, you will know that we have selected 5 lucky people from across Sharn to go on a date with Sylas.
So now the booth is about half the size. It's absolutely awful being in here today. It feels cramped. This massive partition is making me feel very claustrophobic.
I apologize, Sylas, but I can't have you seeing our contestants.
So we couldn't blindfold me?
It wasn't in the budget.
Couldn't cast blindness.
Wasn't in the budget.
But a partition was.
It was, yeah.
Okay. All right. All of this feels like a lot more work than is necessary.
Your face is a lot more work than it's necessary.
It is. I have to put it on each day to make it seem like I'm happy to be here.
You are happy to be here.
Not today.
You're gonna have so much fun.
I somehow doubt that.
Do we have any news we have to do before we jump into anything?
No, I'm trying to minimize this as much as possible. I've asked all of Sharn not to commit any crime.
You heard Sylas. If you're committing any crime right now, please stop.
In fact, do nothing of note worth for the entire afternoon. Just do nothing, and then none of us have to be involved.
I mean, you have to be involved, though, because you're going to go on a date tonight.
Oh, joy.
It's going to be so much fun.
I'm sure it will. It promises to be an absolute rip-roaring good time.
Look, we've got 5 wonderful contestants on the other side of this partition, and each of them is very excited to compete to go on a date with you.
I'm excited about the fact that House Civis is paying for the meal, because I suddenly have a very big appetite.
Well, yeah, I wouldn't make you pay for it. Or at the very least, make sure that it's a tax write-off.
All of this feels like I'm already paying for it.
Why you have to be mean?
I don't know, Alufi. Are we going to set you up with someone on the Echoers? Is that next week?
I mean, listen, Sylas. I did all of this work for you. You wouldn't do this kind of work for me. You'd just be like, yeah, I found him on the corner in Torchlight. Here you go, Alufi.
I want you to note that now you have tethered these people to your reputation.
I mean, it was a random drawing.
You just said that you did a lot of work in order to...
I made sure that people were, excited about it, and I made sure that people wanted to do it, and I put a lot of work in, Sylas. Work that you're not willing to do, because I love you, Sylas.
Well, Alufi, then step in here. Go ahead and date one of these fabulous contestants you have here.
Meeps is giving me the signal that we need to go to a break. Sylas, you're going to drink your drink, and then you're going to cover your eyes as we bring in our contestants on the other side of the partition.
So, let me get this straight. I have to cover my eyes so you can bring them in still.
No, you have to leave the room so they can come in.
Oh, okay. They're not going to be waiting in the hallway for me?
No.
Okay.
They're in the next room over.
Oh, good. Well, I will step out. You enjoy.
Alrighty, folks, and we're back. Sylas is still in the other room because for you guys, I want you in the know. I want you guys to know exactly who Sylas is going to be interviewing today to go on his fabulous date night. Our first contestant. She's big and she's green. Scaly all over. Her name is Eartha, NoLastNameGiven. She's a lizardfolk hailing from Kubara, currently taking up residence in the lower portions of Sharn. She spends most of her days in a tavern called the Thundering Flea. But when she's not there, she's out adventuring and having the time of her life. Put your mage hands together for contestant number 1. You know, they say that members of House Medani have a particularly strong eye. But Remus, the Hound of Firelight de Medani, has a very strong nose. A nose for crime. Give it up for our contestant number 2. Get another date. Bap, bap, bap. Get another date. Bap, bap, bap. One of the first voices on the echoers. The patron of the tiny tavern. You know him. You love him. He wears some kind of rodent hat. He is Kevin Capona, our contestant number 3. It's strange that 2 of our contestants know each other. That's right, an adventuring buddy of Eartha, NoLastNameGiven. He has an inclination towards not wearing shirts, and is spoken to in whispers by a weird ghost demon bug thing that's also inside him. His name is Ashatari, the Kalashtar. Put your totally not bug hands together for contestant number 4. Contestant number 5 enjoys the higher things in life. Fancy wines, living on top of clouds, and possibly being Aundairian. Her name is Mora Earscarnetti. Welcome back, Sylas. On the other side of this partition are 5 contestants. Contestant 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5.
Oh, that's surprising. I would have thought they were in a different order.
No, they are in numerical order.
That makes sense.
Now, they are going to say hello to you in order, just so you can get a feel for their voice.
Oh, okay. Let's give it a shot. Hello, contestant number 1.
Hello. Did I do that right?
Yeah, you definitely did. Thank you.
Hello, contestant number 2.
Hello, Sylas.
Hello, contestant number 3.
Hi, Sylas.
No.
Contestant number 4.
Hello, contestant number 4.
Hello.
And hello, contestant number 5.
Oh, charmed, I'm sure.
Now, Alufi, would you just explain the rules really quickly so that way we can be on the same page?
This game is done in 3 rounds. In the first round, Sylas will ask a handful of questions. And once Sylas is confident that there is one of our contestants that do not fit quite well with him, he's going to cut that contestant loose. The same will happen during round number 2, but each guest will get exactly 3 questions.
And then
in round number 3, Our contestants will ask questions of Sylas. At the end of round number 3, Sylas will decide on which of the contestants he will whisk away to a wonderful, fantastical dinner.
All right, so round number 1, gonna start it off nice and easy, and I get to choose however many questions I feel need to be asked in order to... Okay.
That's correct.
I'd like to remove contestant number 3.
You have to ask one question.
I've definitely done that. I've asked questions. I asked you about the rules. That's a question.
That's not...
Oh, okay. Contestant number 3, why?
Why what? Because you have to be a little more specific than that.
Okay, I think that he's directing this question at me, actually. Like, Sylas, I thought that it might be nice if there was someone that you actually knew, you know, and Kevin's a friend, and he paid us, like, a lot of money. I'm sorry, Kev. I guess we're going to move on to the next round.
Oh. Okay. Well, I'll be down in the tavern if anyone needs me.
Well, Kevin, there's like cake and stuff in the hallway if you want to eat some.
I will. I have my funnel.
You funnel that cake.
Well, round number 1 went swimmingly, so I think we should jump on to round number 2, don't you?
Let's enter into round number 2. Sylas, you will ask 3 questions of each contestant.
All right, well, let's get this started, shall we? Contestant number 1. I'm from Sharn, and I've been almost everywhere here. Where in Sharn would you take me that I haven't been?
There is this bar on the shady side of
I'm
the
on
river
board.
where they have the best soufflés. I would treat you to fine cheeses and possibly wine.
Now you're speaking my language. I think we may have a clear-cut winner from the very first question.
Sylas, that's not how this works.
Well, contestant number 1 seems to enjoy cheeses and wines. How am I going to deny that?
You have to keep asking questions.
All right, fine. Contestant number 2, same question.
Oh, that's a tough question. There's so many sights to see. If you've been, where all have you been? I would love to take you to Cliffside. The dawn is just beautiful.
Well, a man after my own heart. Contestant 4, the same question.
Well, I don't really know too much about the city, but I do know that it is always hustling, bustling, that kind of thing. I'd like to take you out towards, like, the outskirts. Just look at the country. Maybe at night we can go look up at the star sky.
Well, that is nice. You know, when you're living in the city like we do, you don't always get to appreciate the beautiful country sky. Contestant number 5. I'm from here in Sharn, and I've lived here most of my life. Where in Sharn will you show me that I've never been?
Oh, see, that is quite a question. Well, there's plenty of places I'm sure you haven't been up, in the actual upper districts of Shan, those that aren't connected to the ground. There's a little cafe, less of, coffees and things, but more your style, alcoholic beverages. I'm pretty sure you'd rather enjoy it. It's a small hole in the wall. Most of the beverages cost a handful of Galifars. And, well, I'm sure that's not something that's really in your budget. But I would make sure that you got treated as a king there, and are able to drink any of the beverages that are at the top of the shelf.
Well, I thank you so much for your generosity. Contestant number 5. I'm having a bit of difficulty placing that accent. Are you originally from Brayland?
Well, not particularly. Part of my family does indeed hail from Aundair, and I did spend my youth there, but I assure you, my family is entirely nothing but Brelish nobles, with a hint of Aundairian in us.
Contestant number 4. If I were sick in bed, how would you take care of me?
Well, I am very proud of my famous soup recipe. I've seen it work wonders for my relatives in bed whenever they're sick. I'd love to make you soup in bed and just spoon it to you and bring you covers and whatever you need.
And number 2, I'd like to ask you the same question.
I would try to find out what made you sick in the first place, knowing the cause is knowing the symptom. To get to the root of the matter, to see what ails you, that's the best way to find out what will cure you.
Fair point. Straight to the heart of the matter. It doesn't necessarily address taking care of me, but it's good to know that you're thinking long term about getting me back up and at 'em. Okay, and back to number 1. Contestant number 1, same question.
Well, in my culture, it is best known that to enjoy the sunshine will help kind of burn the fever out. So I would bundle you and put you out in the sun with lots of fluids. And I guess read a book. Soup. I would also include soup.
Is that a book on soup, or is that the fluids you're putting in the bundle with me?
You would get soup, a small amount of whiskey, and I would read a book to you.
It feels like she's trying to make me into soup. Did anyone else get that distinct feeling that I'm going to be soup if I go that route?
No, it sounds like she's making you soup, not making you into soup.
Haha, I've got an idea. Contestant number 1, what is your favorite meal?
I enjoy a rare side of beef, particularly. If that is not available, I would say possibly pork or really whatever is cost effective and rare.
No, well, we're not going to. Clearly, a second time. She eats people. She eats people. I know she eats people. I don't think that this is. Why would you do this to me?
Okay, so you start with her being your favorite, and now all of a sudden she eats people. Come on, Sylas.
Contestant number 2. Do you gamble, or are you particularly lucky?
I have lost and won my fair share of Galifar at the Lucky Nines. I do enjoy the random hand of cards and dice.
Now, when you say random hand, are we talking like several times a day? How often would we be playing?
I fritter away many evenings over a table.
Oh, well, fritter away. Contestant number 4. I noticed that you are from the country and that you have a large family. Are you spiritual as well?
I was raised to not be spiritual, but since I recently came into the city, I have been spending a lot of time towards the churches, following the teachings of the light. And I have seen things about myself that I did not know before. I'm certainly not going to have it as like a requirement for everyone around me.
Contestant 5. Being from Undair, I'm sure you have quite a few magical talents, but do you have any useful talents?
Well, let's see here. I've memorized at least 13 languages. I can sing in 4 different octaves. And, well, I've quite a few other talents, though I'm not quite sure that House Civis would enjoy me talking about them.
Oh, my goodness. Well, thank you, Contestant 5.
You're welcome.
Well, it's been rather difficult trying to decide who should stay and who should leave, but unfortunately, I'm going to have to say goodbye to Contestant 5.
Goodbye to me, and not the
Again,
creature that
Contestant
eats
5,
people.
it was really nice getting the opportunity to meet you, and I'm sure I'll see you at the Tane Gala.
Of course. Thank you.
Well, I can definitely say I did not expect contestant number 5 to be cut out so easily and quickly, but let's move on to the third round.
And final, most important, and final.
So each of our contestants will have questions for you. Sylas, answer them as kindly and nicely and
Brief.
truthfully as you can.
Oh, of course, Alufi. That's what I'm here for.
Let's start with contestant number 1.
Yes, thank you. My first question is, do you like your steak rare or well done like Shu?
I want to say that I generally enjoy my steak a little on the rarer side, but I'm concerned that you're trying to fatten me up.
Well, I guess you have not much to worry about. The protein should be just fine. If I were trying to give you the riven meat off of a roast, on the other hand, you may have perceived cause for concern, but you are quite safe with me. You are a good person, long-term fan, Sylas.
Contestant number 2. Ask your question.
What would you say is the pinnacle of your story? What is your life achievement?
Well, I would have to say the Echoers have been my crowning achievement. I've gone through a lot to get here, but I could not be prouder than I am in this moment of this wonderful little guild.
Alrighty, contestant number 4. What is your first question?
How do you feel about farm animals like cows and chickens and such?
Well, I guess that would, in what regard? I feel farm animals are fine. Every time I've been to a House Fidelis facility, they've got quite a bit of livestock. Would I want them living in my apartment here in the city? No, I'm gonna just immediately object to that. Like, I can't be running around with chickens or ducks or cows in my that. So they're good, but not for pets.
All right, contestant number 2, what is your next question?
As a man with a breadth and depth of worldly experience, what would you say your biggest unsolved mystery would be?
I would have to say my biggest mystery at this moment is what comes next. There's a lot out there I haven't experienced and a lot I want to. And I look forward to seeing what transpires.
Well, if I win, perhaps we can unravel that mystery together.
That sounds like a good time.
Alrighty, contestant number 1, what is your next question for Sylas?
Earlier, you assumed that I did like cheese, when in fact I am lactose intolerant as a lizard. Is that a problem? I will still buy you cheese. I just cannot eat cheese.
Well, now I'm even more concerned that I'm acting as some sort of filter for the flavors that you want. Like, me ingesting cheese somehow makes me taste better. but you can't eat the cheese
Sylas.
portion because of the lactose. I'm sorry. You're right. I'm being ridiculous. Let me answer the question. Let me
Don't
let me
assume
just
that-
let me answer the question.
Don't assume that she's gonna eat you. Unless,
I'm picking up what you're setting down, Alufi.
I'm gonna put down this conversation by answering the question. No, it's not a deal breaker. You're good.
All right, contestant number 4. What is your next question?
Being in a relationship with me isn't just like a line. It's more like a triangle. It isn't just me. It's also kind of the person inside of me too. So I'm wondering how you feel about having multiple partners.
Okay. You're Kalashtar. That makes sense. I'm absolutely fine with that. I've done the whole multiple. I was married at one point in time to two. It's easier when there's more people involved because you get a rhythm and it just works. It's like an adventuring party, but for the rest of your life. So that's not an issue at all.
And contestant number 1, what is your final question?
Well, not that this has much to do with me, as I say for our listeners, but how do you feel about crime or people involved with crime?
Well, that is a spurious accusation that I somehow would have any type of relation with anyone in crime and organized in particular. I am not opposed to crime, and I don't want people to feel like they're bad for doing crime, but I'm not in any way associated with anyone who does crime. Can we, next question?
Contestant number 4, what is your final question?
I just have one question, and that is, can you elaborate on that crime stance that you just gave?
I don't. This feels a lot less like a fun thing we're doing here on the Echoers and more like an interrogation. Are all of you inquisitives? I can tell one of you is. Is this you just pushing me? Is that I am not involved in crime? I have no connection to a certain crime family here. I don't know why everyone keeps implying this.
Yeah, but what's your stance on crime?
I mean, I'm fine with it unless it's affecting me. I think that, if you're doing what you have to do, that's fine.
Alrighty, contestant number 2, this is your final question.
Sylas, you are a experienced man, especially with spirits. What is the best liquor that you've ever had?
I would have to say, in my long life, having tried quite a bit, that the absolute best is a whiskey I have in the top desk drawer in my office. Perhaps if you win, you'll get a chance to try it.
It actually tastes really bad.
That sounds lovely.
Alrighty, contestants. So while Sylas is in the other room, deliberating on which of you is the lucky winner to go on an all-expense paid dinner with Sylas, I, Alufi, have a single question for each of you. Contestant number 1, do you promise not to break Sylas's heart?
Well, I myself have a rather large heart, and I feel like with Sylas, it can only get bigger. And I will care for him for as long as I can. And I am strong and I will protect him. But I do have a dangerous line of work. So if I were not to come home, it breaks my heart to think that it would break his heart when I didn't come home.
Thank you, contestant number 1. Contestant number 4, do you promise not to break Sylas's heart?
I would rather. I would lay my life on that. I am certain I would not break his heart. There are two of me, and that's just another pair of hands to help lift up Sylas from where he is.
Do you promise not to break his heart? Because he's an old man. And he's really sad and lonely. And I want to make sure that he stays happy. Do you promise not to break Sylas's heart? Contestant number 2.
I will very much strive to endeavor to not break his heart, if we have a chance to see if there's anything between us.
Alright, and Sylas is back from his deliberations. Sylas DeCivis, who are you choosing?
Well, it's a tough call, because I can see positives with all of our contestants that are left. But I have to go with the wild card, in my opinion. And I'm gonna have to choose contestant number 1.
Yes! Whoa! In your face, Ashatari! This is my man! Can I pick you up? Oh, I'm picking you up!
Please, no, oh God, no, oh my God.
Sylas, I would like to introduce you to Eartha, NoLastNameGiven.
Yes! Oh! We're going to eat these!
I'm not a ragdoll. Oh, I'm gonna be sick. Oh no.
Well, I did not see that coming. But our contestant, Eartha, NoLastNameGiven, and Sylas will be going to the Azure Gateway, a Galifar fusion restaurant in the Cloudtop District. Really excited for them. And it's right around this time of year, the end of Therendor, that I've noticed that love is in the air, And I think this is a perfect time to look at the people that we care about the most and inform them how we feel. I hope everybody has a wonderful far and a wonderful week. Remember to listen out for those echoes of hope.